it just was a disaster on wheels. Okay, well, I'm Donald Parker, and I'm back to talk about the boat more in detail. I just would say that I purchased this boat accidentally on eBay at 11:30 at night. I have no regrets, but being that I was the high bid, I did feel a little stressed out at the beginning, because here I bought a boat sight unseen, as is, where is. I didn't know what I bought, and to make things worse, it was 1,000 miles away from where I live, and that, you know, if it was 200 miles up the road, that's one thing, but 1,000 miles, I saw it to be a major problem that I had to resolve before winter set in. But to tell you a little bit about the history of the boat, it's a 1969 Columbia Mark II. To my pleasure, in talking to the owner, I learned that he was one owner. So I assume he must have bought it in his mid-20s, and he owned it for 49 years. He told me that he raced it heavily, and he won as much as 200 pieces of silver with it. And a man that just happened to run into me at the boat yard in Milford, Connecticut, confirmed that this boat won more silver than any other boat in the community. Even though he hadn't seen it in quite a few years, he remembered it very well. The owner also indicated to me that it stayed on a trailer in the winter, and it was put into the water the 1st of May and was religiously taken out the 1st of October. So it spent only about 5 months a year in the water. And if you do the math, that means this boat's only been in the water about 15 years of 50 years, because I've concluded the boat sat on a trailer 20 years before he sold it. I base that on the fact that the wildlife decal that's on the boat now, the last one on it was 1998, so I think the boat has been sitting on a trailer for quite some time. The previous owner also informed me that he replaced the mast and boom, so the mast and boom is not the original. The boom looks to be in very nice shape. It must have been left inside the boat. The mast, I'm sanding it now and am going to repaint it. But being that it sat on the deck for so-called 20 plus years, it needs some sanding and painting. So the boat did not come with an engine, which suits me. But the boat did come with a 155 and a 125 Genoa, a main, and a spinnaker. No spinnaker pole. But the sails, I've opened them up and laid them over my yard, and they look to be in pretty nice shape, but I do plan to replace them. And I took possession of the boat in October of 2018, and once I got the boat here, I just basically left it for a year. I got home, and then I found out my daughter was going to get married, so that took some of my play money. But I'm back on track, and I hope to have the boat back in the water in about a year. So I estimate the refurbishing the boat is going to take about 300 labor hours. I'm currently at 99, so I'm keeping track of how many hours I'm into it, and I hope I've accurately estimated 300 hours. And now, so when I found out that I was the high bid on this boat, And knowing that it's in Connecticut, 1,000 miles away from home, I was quite stressed out because here I had a boat I knew nothing about, 1,000 miles away from home with winter coming. So I decided that I needed to get this problem solved, and I found there to be various hurdles in getting that boat back here. I put the boat out for bid twice and got no takers, and I had a boat 1,000 miles away from home on a trailer that probably was not roadworthy at all. It wasn't, and so I then had to go get a custom trailer built. So that required me to order a trailer in Columbus, Georgia, which is on the Alabama-Georgia line, which was about 7+ hours away. So I had to first go to Columbus, Georgia to get the trailer, and then come back to Charleston, and 2 days later, about noontime on Tuesday, I headed up to Connecticut, and the trailer was atrocious. The owner told me that I couldn't move the boat to the boatyard except at 4 o'clock in the morning because the police would ticket me because it was in such bad shape. The tires were so rotten, I can't even believe that they held any air. The thing looked like a nuisance to the highway, and it just was a disaster on wheels. And the man at the boatyard, the boat storage place, told me too that I couldn't move that boat except at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I said, no, we're going to do it right now. I'm going to do it at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and if I get a ticket, I get a ticket. And I drove through downtown Milford, Connecticut at 6 o'clock one afternoon, passed right by a police officer, and he was directing traffic, and I didn't look at him, so he might have told me to pull over, but I didn't see him, so I kept going. And so when the boatyard took the boat off the previous owner's trailer, then I had to take the trailer to a junkyard. So, you know, don't ever buy a boat as is, where is, without knowing what you're doing, because the whole thing was very stressful to me. The tires were so rotten, they were so alligatored. I mean, even the man said that you're going to get so many tickets with this trailer. You don't have a license, the tires are rotten, you're a hazard on the road, and I had no lights. So I probably could have gotten as many as a half-dozen tickets, but I just had to get the boat to the boatyard and know that I'm gotten over that hurdle. So the trip up there and back was non-eventful, and I just would say that I find it humorous now that I look back on it. But I got the boat back here before winter set in, which I thought was absolutely crucial. There were some friends that told me to default on the auction, and after reading the definition of default, I didn't like the consequences. So I fulfilled my obligation and sent the money in and made arrangements to go get the boat. I'm excited about owning the boat. And as you can see, there's a tarp on it, or a plastic tarp. That's in part because every track, every winch, every cleat, everything has been taken off the boat. The hatches, the teak. So there are a number of holes in the deck, and that's to try to keep some water from going in when it rains. But I'm getting very close to sanding the green part of the boat and the deck, and we're going to make this boat look like a Cadillac. And thank you for watching it with me, and if you like this, please click the like and subscribe button, and we probably have another 12 to 15 more videos coming associated with refurbishing this fine boat. Thank you.